Welcome to ProKitchen University, an online video tutorial series, version 11. This video is an overview of cabinet attributes. Cabinet attributes in ProKitchen offers easy application of cabinet changes, adding plumbing, appliances, and interior lighting to your cabinetry components. In this video, we will walk through each of the tabs in cabinet attributes. Let's start with one of my wall cabinets. There are two ways to access cabinet attributes. The first method is through the right-click toolbox. Hover over the cabinet you need to access and right-click to open a menu. Hover down to the cabinet SKU to open a much longer menu, known as the right-click toolbox. At the bottom of this menu, you will find Attributes. Left-click to select and launch the Cabinet Attributes dialog box. The second method for accessing the cabinet attributes is to double left-click the cabinet from either the plan or elevation view to quickly and easily launch the Cabinet Attributes dialog box. The dialog box consists of three parts. On the left are the tabs available for the selected cabinet, which may vary depending on the cabinet type that you are accessing. In the center, you will be provided access to the tools available for the selected tab. And on the right is the Cabinet Preview panel, which is an interactive display of the cabinet that will update as you make your changes. In this interactive view, you may right-click and hold to rotate the cabinet, use the roller ball on the mouse to zoom in and out, or left-click the cabinet to open all the doors and drawers. Or, below, you may utilize the manual rotate and zoom buttons and the open and close slider. The dialog box will always open by default to the General tab. Here, you may view the cabinet catalog, view and edit the SKU, description, and plan notation that may also be turned on or off from showing on plan by selecting or deselecting the box to the right. Below these fields, you will be provided with a quantity of this cabinet that is currently existing on plan, as well as how many base doors, wall doors, drawers, false drawers, and cabinet volume and weight if relevant. If your cabinet manufacturer allows for unit price alterations, you may do so here by either typing the appropriate item price or by utilizing the arrows to the right of the field. You may also adjust the cabinet dimensions here for design and visual purposes alone by once again either typing in the desired value or by utilizing the arrows to the right. Please note that altering the cabinet dimensions within the General tab will not make it back to the manufacturer, as cabinet modifications must be done within the Modifications tab to be noted on the manufacturer report. The Add to BOM option is by default turned on and will ensure that this unit is marked on the bill of materials. If deselected, the item will still appear on plan, but will not be displayed on the bill of materials. To the right of this option is the Reset to Catalog Defaults button, which will restore the cabinet to the default attributes determined by the manufacturer. At the bottom of the center panel in the General tab is a Notes section, where you may add any pertinent notes about this unit. Simply left-click in the Notes section and begin typing to create your cabinet notes. The next tab available for the currently selected cabinet is the Modifications tab. When opening this tab, the center of the dialog box will now have two distinct panels. On the left, you will be provided all the modifications available for this cabinet from the manufacturer. On the right is currently an empty panel, representative of the standard stock cabinet. Once a modification has been successfully added to the cabinet, it will appear in this panel. Let's walk through adding a couple of modifications to this cabinet. From the left panel, navigate the Modifications catalog tree by clicking the plus sign to the left of each desired folder to reveal any additional subfolders until selectable options appear. Hovering over the options will display a thumbnail preview of the modification. Left-click to select the modification and highlight it in blue. To add this modification to the cabinet, navigate to the space between the two panels and select the arrow to the right button. If the modification requires additional information, an additional dialog box will appear. The options available here may vary depending on the modification selected. Select the appropriate door or drawer to be adjusted if necessary, and enter the appropriate parameters. Then click the OK button to finish the modification installation. The modification will now appear in the right panel, and the 3D preview of the cabinet will update to show the added modification. Note that not all modifications are available as visible components in the 3D rendering. Modifications listed in red will display in 3D, while modifications listed in black will not. Let's add another modification. This time, I know the nomenclature of the modification that needs to be added. So instead of navigating the catalog tree, at the top of the left panel, I can click the Find button to search for the modification by SKU. Type in the desired SKU, then click Find. Any matching results will now be displayed below. Select the desired modification, then click the arrow to the right button between the panels. To remove a modification, select it from the right panel and click the arrow button to the left button. To remove all the added modifications simultaneously, click the double arrow to the left button. In the Lighting tab, you may easily add interior cabinet lighting. Similar to the Modifications tab, there are two panels. To the left are the available options. To the right represents the cabinet. Once again, you may either utilize the catalog tree or the Find button to locate the desired component, and are provided with thumbnail previews of the product when hovering over the SKU. When you click the arrow right button, the lighting component will be applied to the appropriate sections within the cabinet. Once the lights have been added, you may select a unit from the right and adjust the placement distance from the left, front, or the height placement in relation to the bottom of the section. To do this, activate the necessary field and either type in the required value or utilize the arrows to the right. To add an additional component in one of the sections, select the item from the right panel that is currently located in the desired section. Then click the Copy button in between the panels. Once added, in order to make the secondary light visible, adjust the placement of the newly added light, as it will be added to the cabinet in the same location as the original lighting component. Next up is the Hardware tab. Here, you may turn on or off the hardware from appearing on the cabinet. Alter the hinge and hardware positions. If the cabinet has more than one door or drawer, you will need to first select the door or drawer you wish to alter from the preview panel on the right. Then click the appropriate hinge position and hardware position buttons. Below, you are provided additional controls to move the hardware placement left and right or up and down. Please note when using these tools, moving left or down from the existing position will need to be entered as a negative value. When working with a cabinet that has drawers present and a drawer that has been selected from the preview panel, the Drawer Multi-Knobs option will be activated. With this option, selecting a radio button will adjust the number of knobs or pulls applied to the face of the drawer as indicated. Once all changes have been made to a cabinet within Attributes, Navigate to the bottom of the dialog box and click the OK button to apply all the changes and dismiss the dialog box. Now that we have walked through what is available for wall cabinets, let's take a look at the base cabinet attributes. Base cabinet attributes will provide access to all the tabs that were available for wall cabinets. However, there are two additional tabs: Sink and Faucets and Cooking Surfaces. These two options are the easiest method for placing plumbing and appliances into the cabinets. Let's start with sinks and faucets. Once again, the left and right panels are found in the center of the dialog box. At the top of the left panel, a drop-down menu will be available that will allow you to choose if you will be using the Pro Kitchen Plumbing Catalog or select from any installed manufacturer plumbing catalog. Navigate the catalog tree as demonstrated earlier. When products appear, you may hover over the options to see a thumbnail preview. Select the preferred option to launch a slide-off side panel. In this panel, you will be able to view the cabinet width and depth, and view and edit the plumbing components width and depth to fit visual needs. If there are finish options available for the selected item, they will display below. Use the slider bar below the options to view additional finish selections. Make your finish selection with a left click. Then click the Add button to perfectly place the sink in the base cabinet. The same process will apply for adding the faucet. Navigate the catalog tree, select the desired product, adjust the product dimensions if necessary, select the finish if applicable, and click the Add button to add the faucet into its appropriate placement. Similar to the lighting option, you may also adjust the placement from the left, back, or front of the cabinet, as demonstrated earlier. Please note that if you are attempting to add a second sink, as you would in a double vanity, or add a plumbing accessory, such as a soap dispenser, the second selection will replace the original selection, so be mindful to add additional sinks or plumbing accessories on plan manually. Cooking surfaces will work much the same as sinks and faucets. Select the appliance catalog you wish to utilize from the drop-down menu at the top of the left panel. Navigate the catalog tree, select the desired product, and make any adjustments in the slide-off side panel for visual needs as necessary. Then click Add. This will effortlessly place the cooking surface perfectly into the cabinet. However, when it comes to placing appliances into appliance cabinets, things work just a little differently. When working in a cabinet intended for appliances, within the Attributes dialog box, there is a new tab labeled Appliances. When this tab is opened, the center panel will have two sections, but this time, instead of left and right, we now have top and bottom sections. The top section is called Appliance Info, where you will add, remove, or adjust the appliance. The bottom section will provide you with the cutout parameters for the selected cabinet. In the upper portion, click the Add button to launch the Appliances dialog box. At the top is a drop-down menu that will allow you to select your preferred appliance catalog. Navigate the catalog tree and click on the options below to see a preview of the appliance in the preview panel to the right. When satisfied with your selection, click the Place button to dismiss the dialog box and place the appliance into the cabinet. Once the appliance has been placed, you will be able to view the item's SKU and description, and make dimension and depth alignment changes for visual needs. Please note that changes made to the appliance dimensions will only be for visual representation, so be mindful when making these changes that appropriate considerations are made regarding the appliance manufacturer's specification and installation sheets, and that you attend to appropriate additions to this cabinet or cabinet order for trim kits or cutout specifications. When altering the dimensions of an appliance to make it fit for visual needs, a good rule of thumb is to make the appliance about 1 inch or so larger than the cabinet cutout as specified below. Either type the desired value or utilize the buttons to the right of the field. Below are the cabinet cutout parameters. While you may be able to adjust the values here, please caution that the changes to the cutout here will be for visual and design needs alone. If the manufacturer allows for custom appliance cutouts, it is best to create that as a modification prior to placing the appliance. As before, once all the desired changes have been made, click the OK button at the bottom right corner of the dialog box to apply all the changes. ProKitchen's cabinet attributes makes it quicker and easier than ever to add cabinet modifications, plumbing, and appliances that will ensure faster drafting time and proper placement of added components without any of the guesswork. Thank you for visiting ProKitchen University. Be sure to visit us at prokitchensoftware.com.